Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that might sound like the setup for a dystopian action movie, but I assure you is very real countries ditching the US dollar. It's like finding out your friend group is quietly using a different group chat without you. Except in this case, the group chat is the global economy, and the messages are about things like oil, international trade, and whether or not the world will descend into chaos. Now, the reasons these countries are giving Uncle Sam the economic side-eye are as varied as their flags. Some are motivated by politics, others by pragmatism, and a few might just be trying to spice things up. But regardless of their reasoning, the question remains, is this a sign of the dollar's waning dominance, or just a blip on the radar of global finance? Over the next little while, we're going to examine 11 countries that have taken the leap away from the dollar, analyzing their motivations, the impacts, and whether or not this is the beginning of the end for the greenback as we know it. Buckle up, because things are about to get economically interesting. Let's start with country one, shall we? They were among the first to give the dollar the old heave-ho, and for them it was a bit like breaking up with your high school sweetheart. On the surface, it seemed a little sudden, maybe even a bit dramatic, but once you dug deeper, you realized there were some long simmering tensions there. You see, country one's economy had become heavily reliant on the dollar. And while that might sound cozy at first, imagine constantly being at the mercy of your partner's fluctuating moods, except those moods are interest rates and trade agreements set by a government thousands of miles away. Yeah, not so fun. It was a bold move and the economic equivalent of jumping out of a plane and assembling a parachute on the way down. So, how did it go? Well, the initial impact was, let's call it, turbulent. It wasn't pretty. But here's the thing about country one, they're nothing if not resilient. They weathered the storm, made adjustments, and slowly but surely their economy began to stabilize. Next up, we've got country two, a nation with a history as rich and complex as a fruitcake, and about as likely to be enjoyed by everyone at a party. See, country two and the US, well, let's just say they haven't always seen eye to eye. It's a relationship that's gone through more cold wars than a penguin in a blizzard. So, when country two announced they were ditching the dollar, no one who'd been paying attention was particularly surprised. I mean, they'd been dropping hints like they were in a game of economic charades for years, but this decision wasn't just about sticking it to Uncle Sam. Country two had their own reasons, their own economic goals. And let's be honest, a healthy dose of national pride to fuel this decision. They were tired of playing second fiddle in a global orchestra conducted by the US. Are they thriving? Are they struggling? The answer, as is often the case, is more complicated than a simple yes or no. What's clear is that country two is committed to charting its own course, even if that means navigating some choppy economic waters. Now let's turn our attention to country three, a nation known for its strategic thinking and long-term planning. These guys don't just play checkers, they play three-dimensional chess while simultaneously planning their retirement 50 years out. So when they made the decision to start reducing their reliance on the dollar, it wasn't a rash decision made over a plate of economic nachos. At 3 a.m. this was calculated. Country three had been observing the global landscape, noticing the cracks in the dollar's armor, and they realized something crucial. Diversification is key. Think of it like this. You wouldn't put all your eggs in one basket, would you? Unless you're really into omelets with a side of shattered dreams. Perhaps they saw the writing on the wall with US economic policies. Or maybe they were simply looking to strengthen ties with other global players. Whatever their motivations, country three has been slowly but steadily implementing their plan. They're not interested in making a big splash. They're more about those subtle ripples that eventually become a wave. And that's what makes them so fascinating to watch. They're playing the long game, and whether their gamble pays off remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, country three is a reminder that in the global economy, sometimes the quietest players are the ones to watch out for.